Welcome to Personal Conversations, where we get up close and personal with entertainment industry movers and shakers. I'm your host, Kente Scott. Our guest tonight hails from Chicago, Chi-Town, Illinois. Comedian actor Rodney Perry's career is in fast motion right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Rodney Perry has been moving and shaking from ABC's Dance Machine, Martin Lawrence's First Amendment, and Bill Bellamy's Who's Got Jokes. He's also traveled to Germany to entertain our troops.
Okay, y'all. Time to choose a winner, man. Come on. Good job, man. Great job. The Jackson family got a restaurant. Give a hand if you know about that. Got a restaurant. And Joe, being the hands-on guy he is, he kind of maitre d'. Oh, yeah. You don't want to really be late to the Joe Jackson restaurant. What time your reservation? 8 o'clock. It's 9:15. So you feel like you can just show up. Come here for a second. Hey y'all, my name is Rodney Perry.
Here he is, my man, Mr. Rodney Perry.
What's up, Kente?
What's up, Rodney? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? You got your own show. I see what you're doing.
Trying to do it.
Yeah, man.
Yes, how you been?
I'm good. I'm
Good.
I'm on the show. I mean, trying to get personal with you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I know you pretty well, but my audience, they want to know a little bit about you. They want to know things like, have you always been this crazy?
Have I always been this crazy? Yeah, my mama dropped me on my head when I was a baby, and then it's been all downhill since then,
Right.
No, actually, I really wasn't the class clown.
Okay.
But I was a guy that was always kind of funny. I emceed talent shows, and I had a mother that kind of helped foster that. She didn't really, stop me from being that. Okay. So yeah, I've always been a little silly though.
Right, a little silly, but as a little boy, you weren't always the funniest one in the bunch, or were you?
Oh no, it was guys I grew up with that was way funnier than me. But to be a comedian is another animal, because getting on the stage is what separates us.
Right.
Once you get on that stage, it's funny, but it's not a game no more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely. We both understand that.
Yes, we do.
Now, we both understand that it's also a business too.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you first started out in comedy, what other part-time jobs did you have?
Oh man, I did many things. Well, I was in the Navy for several years. I did my tour of duty in the Navy. So when you brought up about us going to see the troops in Germany, that was a big deal for me.
Okay.
Because I was in the Navy. I'm very patriotic, and to this day, like I'm always on time because of my Navy career. Right. But I did other things. When I moved to Los Angeles in '98, I managed an apartment building.
Okay.
When I tell you that was the worst job, let me tell y'all something. Don't crawl past my door and don't think I see you. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that was a tough thing, and I temped because of my Navy career. I was a secretary in the Navy.
Okay.
So I typed and filed, so I knew my way around a computer. So I was able to work that way to to take care of my family before I really went full steam ahead in comedy.
Right. Now where were you apartment manager? What part of the city was it?
Oh, right in Inglewood.
Oh, so you had people trying to pay their rent in weed. Like, I give you an ounce.
I took the ounce too, and that's the real part.
Still gave a 3-day notice. Huh?
They still got to pay or quit.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Now, so if you weren't doing stand-up comedy full time, what do you think your occupation would be?
If I wasn't doing stand-up comedy full time, I don't even like to entertain that. Now, I don't mean to dish your question, but there is no other option for me.
Right. I understand
there isn't a plan B. Like, some people always, what's your safety net? I don't have no safety net.
Yeah.
I got to do this, and anybody out there that really wants to do something, you got to do it. So I don't have no plan B. If I wasn't doing this, I would be homeless. I'd be with a sign.
Be on the side like, tell jokes for food. Exactly. Like, tell folks, you got to jump in the deep end. You got to sink or swim.
Sink or swim.
You got to sink or swim.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And you got to go for it 100%. If you don't, I think you set yourself up to end up doing your plan B.
Right. And you're going to always hate your plan B because it was never the plan B.
Plan B is always whack.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this. Also, how long have you been pursuing your dream of stand-up comedy? I know you said you came out in '98.
Yeah, well, I think comics are born.
Yeah.
So, I've been a comic since, I came out the chute, so to speak.
Right.
But, for real, like, I was in the Navy from '90 to '98. I was performing my entire time in the Navy. I was performing, but you don't really get on the radar till you hit LA.
Right.
So I didn't get on people's radar till like 98, but I was doing comedy in 1990. So that puts me over 15 years in the game. So what people don't realize is when you see a comedian that's good. Did I just belch?
You did.
That was kind of nasty. Did you smell it?
I didn't smell it, though. Thank you. It's the roses.
Yeah. You got a nice set. No, what people don't realize, when you see a comedian that's been working, usually he's at least 10 years in the making.
Right.
You know, people see Cat Williams right now, who is a friend of mine, and we all seen each other grow many years ago. And he's like an overnight success, but overnight successes take 10 years.
Exactly.
You know, so I'm 10 plus 15 years in the game, and it's taken that long, but I wouldn't trade 1 minute of it.
Exactly. I mean, that's the journey. You gotta take the journey.
Absolutely.
Now, you say you've been doing stand-up since 90. Came out here in 98. But what would you say your ultimate goal is in the stand-up or even entertainment business?
Well, in terms of like acting and things of that nature, when people start evaluating the best that ever did it, I want my name to be in that group. I want them to go, well, you got Ed, Eddie Murphy, you got Martin Lawrence, you got, Richard Pryor. That dude Rodney Perry though.
Yeah.
I don't even want one person to say that.
Yeah, just one person throw it out there. Just throw
that's
Rodney Perry. They be like, oh, you're right.
Rodney Perry,
he good. I like it.
In the big grand scheme of things, if I can have that at the end of the day when I'm laying on my deathbed, I can lay there and say I accomplished something.
Right. Okay, now, kind of going back to the other question about not having a plan B. Most people say that you have to have another source of income to make it in Hollywood.
Right.
Do you agree or disagree with that? Or has that affected you as a stand-up comic?
Absolutely. I mean, you got to kind of be a jack of all trades. My rule of thumb is just long as it's in entertainment.
Right.
So I mean, I've done audience warm-up, for people out there that don't know. Anytime you see a live show with a studio audience, there's a guy that keeps that audience charged up, energized, and I've done that. I've written for people, I've written on shows, and there's just other ways to make money. When you meet comics from other parts of the country, they'll go, well, you can't make no money in LA. That's not true. You can make money in LA. I've even done extra work, like when I first got here. I'll never do that again. But, the long and short of it is you do have to do other things, but, you just can never compromise your big goal, which is stand-up, and I don't do that.
Yeah, because extras, you might as well be this potted plant right here. They treat the potted plant better than they treat extras.
I've been the potted plant.
What other businesses do you have then out here? Because I did hear that Jamie Foxx has an avocado farm.
Well,
he's kind of country, so he probably...
Boy, it's country.
I
know Jamie.
Watermelon patch or something like that.
Well, I guess businesses... First of all, Rodney Perry is my black-owned business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I do treat, my stand-up career like a business. I think that's the way we take it to the next level. So this is my first business, and that Rodney Perry encompasses myself as a stand-up. It encompasses merchandise and DVDs, things of that nature. Like, what I'm working on now is owning my image. I look at guys like Richard Pryor, and he has a catalog of all his work, his body of work.
Right.
But I understand his family doesn't own that.
Oh.
And I'm like, so Rodney Perry, as I began to take my steps toward that, okay, how can I own my image?
Right.
And so that's my business right now, is owning my image. I'm doing DVDs, producing them myself.
Okay.
I'm also looking at producing other comedians as well. So, kind of beginning to wear the producer hat and taking the business of comedy and owning that for me.
Right.
I got one project I did called Rodney Perry, the Official Bootleg. Right. And we just went in a little club. My friend owns a club. We set the cameras up and we shot it. And it's a slice of where I was comedically at that point. And eventually we'll put it out for the world. You know,
right.
I learned from watching, you know, Cat Williams again. He's a great business model for me right now because he's one of our peers that has really made it. And one of the things he did was he owned his image right off the bat. The first special you saw of him, he shot it. Licensed it to HBO.
Okay.
That's when you get the paper.
Yes.
I'm trying to get this paper.
Trying to be Rodney Perry Incorporated.
RodneyPerry.com.
Exactly. LLC.